Currently, this Garona Ashamane Rogue is sitting at the top of Legend right now with the biggest win rate. Even though with small sample size, it definitely is worth checking out. In this video, I'm gonna give you a quick guide about it, talk about mulligans, win rates, and general tips so you guys have a better idea of what you should be expecting with and against it. So I hope you find the video helpful, and if you do, a like and subscribe would be great. Now, let's check out the deck.
You are not prepared!
Here's the list up close, and it can actually curve out very quickly, and it does have a lot of legendaries in here, like, not gonna lie. A grand total of, what was it, 8 legendaries? No, it's actually 9. This one doesn't even have Ziliax, so it's exactly 9. But yeah, the deck is definitely pretty powerful, especially if you know how to play it. What is this deck trying to do? Well, it could go fast, it could go slow, it could go medium, so it really does have a lot of decisions in the making with this one, and it really comes down to what kind of opponents you're facing, because a lot of the times you are gonna be stealing stuff with things like Deja Vu, Nightmare Fuel, Mirax the Crystalline, as well as Ashamane. So there is definitely a lot of intricacies to this deck, and no two games should be feeling too similar. You could go crazy fast with this one with things like Flashback, or big discovers out a Creature of Madness, or you could go somewhat medium with things like Elise, with Rushers, with Copies, and you could go slow with things like Ashamane, even though when it comes down to Rogue, it's rarely slow. You're still probably going to be able to do this guy quite early with the help of things like Admiral Hooktail, with which you get to fill your hand with coins, and basically Ashamane on turn 6, let's say. Going through the cards, we obviously have Preps and Shadow Steps. With the Prep, you could be using it in all sorts of different cheap spells to bring him down to 0, but you can also obviously do a 2-mana Dubious Purchase, and heck, maybe even a 5-mana Dethrone, even though that card, I have a feeling it's only in here for the sake of it being a 7-drop, so that at least gets activated. With the Shadow Step, you could be using it on your Creature of Madness early on if you feel like it. You could be using it on things like Elise, on Grifta even, or even on Ashamane, and some rare cases maybe on Ceaseless, but yeah, if it's for Ceaseless, you're gonna know if it's worth it. The Deja Vu is a pretty nice card early on, because not only do you get a cheaper copy of the opponent's stuff, you're also gonna actually get to see what the opponent is holding in their hand, including you might see if they have King Lane, and getting yourself something like a 3-mana Elise, also not the worst. Nightmare Fuel is pretty decent as well. This way, again, you're gonna get extra information if the opponent doesn't have a certain minion in their hand. Already, you could be witnessing Ziliax, giving you a good signal that you could go aggro, you could steal an extra Elise, and anything in between, and getting a Dark Gift on those cards also ain't no joke. The Space Rock Collectors are gonna help you curve out in the early turns, but also allow you to combo off things you're not supposed to early. The Creature of Madness still absolutely broken. You could be getting yourself charge out of these, you could be getting some very big free drops, and so on and so forth. The Flashback also pretty busted. This on turn 1 with the help of Prep or Coin could be absolutely huge, and you're gonna see in one of the games how insanely fast we curved out. Getting the +1 attack on those, also not the worst, so all around pretty good card. Foxy Fraud helps you actually combo off the Flashback nice and good. You could also combo off things you discover out of Creature of Madness, for instance. The Kingslayer, you don't really upgrade it in this one, you just have it for the sake of fishing out a few legendaries, and it's kind of awkward that this deck has this many legendaries for a deck with Kingslayers. It's a lot better to be able to actually tempo out at least on turn 4, whereas with this one, that is far from guaranteed, but still, you are gonna have some decent card draw. You're gonna be able to punish the opponent if they're not careful with their hand size, and you also get to slash them in half, even though with this deck you're not gonna do that all that often. King Lane obviously is gonna be super disruptive in some opponent decks. For instance, if you shuffle this into a no minion Demon Hunter, half his deck stop working, and you could also mess up something like Oaken Summons for Druids, and so on and so forth. You can definitely be very annoying with a card like this for the opponent. Mirax the Crystalline, you could be stealing extra Elises this way, but you could be timing it for all sorts of other things if the opponent's not careful. Sometimes you just play it for the tempo, other times you wait for specific cards like Elise indeed. Delgath is kinda okay in this one. It does give you a good amount of removal. You can definitely remove a ton of stuff with the help of this guy if you already, let's say, have a 5-mana Rushers Elise, and getting yourself an extra backstab can also be kinda cool. The Dubious Purchase helps you with the card draw. You could also destroy a big minion with it, or just a random minion with it. So all around good stuff. Sometimes you don't even care to combo it. At least the Navigator, you could be going for 5-mana for Rushers, for Copies, for +2 attack. In some cases, you could even go for 10-mana depending on how the matchup is going, but all around 5-mana is the way to go. Rarely you're going to be going for the 1-mana with this one, I think, unless you're already very big on the board and you have 1 mana to spare, maybe hopefully to get the +1 attack, maybe a Rusher, that kind of stuff. But for the most part, I think 5-mana would be the sweet spot for this deck. Garona Halforken is kind of fine in here. A lot of the times you're not really going to care to even try to slash them with King Lane unless you know for a fact they do have King Lane in there thanks to a Deja Vu, let's say. So I don't don't think you're even gonna care the Shadow Step. This one, you're not that type of deck here. With Grifta, you could be getting the 6 damage, the card draw, the discount, sometimes healing even, because this deck really doesn't have anything in terms of healing. And it is not the worst target, the Shadow Step, actually, because you might be searching for lethal this way. Stealing the opponent's minion can also be pretty busted. The Time Admiral Hook Tusk is definitely pretty decent in here, especially if you're looking for a lot of coins, because if you've played, let's say, a turn 4 Elise into a turn 5/5 mana location into a turn 6 Hooktail, you could be using the location out of Elise and just delete Hooktail this way, get yourself a full hand of coins, and maybe follow up with a very, very big Ashamane after that. A lot of opponents will not be able to handle that, and you could be using extra information this way, like when you see the cards that Ashamane is giving you, those are the cards in the opponent's deck, so you can safely assume they don't have it in their hand already. So if you see things like Ziliax, that's gonna be pretty good for you, because you know they still haven't drawn it. Nomelia still pretty busted in here. She's your only 6 drop, and you could be dealing a lot of cleave damage with her. Rogue is notorious for not having great ways to deal with wide boards, and this would be one of the best ways. The other would be Elise, so yeah, you could be using her to great extent. Dethrone, I didn't play a single time, not gonna lie. It's an okay thing, and don't forget this thing is a combo card if you want to be summoning a random 8-cost minion, but it's a random 8-cost minion. You don't even get to discover it, so it's kind of whatever. Ashamane can be pretty busted. Giving you a full hand of discounted stuff from the opponent's deck can be absolutely game-breaking. And last but not least, we have Ceaseless Expanse, basically for the extra digit, but some games definitely could go long. Shadow Stepping Ashamane over and over again definitely could give you some interesting results as well, so be on the lookout for that. When it comes down to matchups, here's what we can see. Only Death Knight would be somewhat not great for you, but Mid-Range Shaman, very, very good matchup, so you got that going for you. The other ones look 50-50, so if you're sick of Mid-Range Shamans, this might be a great deck for you. When going first, you want to be curving out with your good cheap stuff. Creature of Madness, amazing. At least the Navigator, always a keep. Flashback is amazing, especially if you have prep for it. Foxy Fraud is basically like a prep with extra stats, so you could save that for a turn 2. The Nightmare Fuel is also decent even on turn 1. You don't always gotta combo it, like just fishing out on Elise could be amazing. Kingslayer is not a bad key. Prep can be great, and Mirex also not the worst if you're curving into it, and also expect the opponent to actually have Elise the Navigator in the early turns. You're not trying to play this on turn 3, you're just trying to have things to already play, so you can actually realistically keep a deck card like this. If you have prep, I'd say Dubious can also be a consideration. On the coin, again, Flashback would be even better here, because turn 1 Flashback would be amazing. Heck, turn 1 Foxy into Flashback would be even better. Creature of Madness still top tier. Space Rock Collector, Elise, Deja Vu, kind of the same deal. Like I said, the deck is pretty expensive, but it's also pretty fun and not easy to really master, so if you're looking for a challenge, if you want to have different experience each game, Rogue definitely does scratch that itch for most. Hope you enjoyed the guide, and if you did, a like and subscribe would be great, but now let's check out some of my games on my road to top 1000 legend with it. Hope you enjoy.
Get stabbing, I'll get going.
Face your worst nightmare.
This looks like a curve to me. Looks good, looks good. Technically speaking, this could be kept till turn 4, because this is turn 2 into turn 3, and that way we activate this, but we might not need to activate it, who knows. And also preps a card. And also this. That definitely looks like a pretty saucy curve for us. Okay, there goes the Creature of Madness. Maddening. He might even... I mean, it would be pretty stupid to coin it. Would not be... It would be ill-advised. Come on, bro, subs. It's not like you haven't seen that card before. Ooh. I'd still go with this though. Probably picked Dubious Purchase, didn't he? Still.
Such unique markings. Pleasure of fool.
No, he picked the Space Rock, actually, we see he did. This would be nasty. Getting a coin ain't the worst. It's cheaper. I think I will. Let's go, window. This guy definitely takes his time discovering. Maybe he's using ChatGPT or something, I don't know. Definitely a very, very hard decision for him over there. Probably pulling up some card reveals on each of the discovers or something, I don't even know, man. Reading comments or something. He's contemplating. He needs to consider. Game-breaking decision over there. Maybe dude just fucked off or something, I don't know. Wouldn't put it beyond him.
Just keep quiet.
Man sticking over there. I think he just fucked off or something. I think he has seen enough. Perhaps. But yeah, being able to pull that shit off for a very quick Ashamane could be disgusting. Could be visibly disgusting. Yeah, I think homeboy just decided to fuck right off there. Homeboy couldn't handle the 8-7 red there. The 8-7 was too much to handle. He surprises absolutely nobody. No complaints, no complaints.
Face your worst nightmare.
I don't think care too much about that. See if we can get the combo boy. Alrighty then. Okay, let's see what he has. He's an aggro man. He aggroes things. Maze Guide next turn allows me to Nightmare Fuel. Coin allows me to combo Flashback and Nightmare Fuel. I don't know, I'm gonna do this. Gonna be decently aggressive, maybe I even do it a second time. Get that tempo rolling. Just like he did. That ain't bad at all. Look at this nonsense. Look at this visible, disgusting nonsense. This is gonna be huge. It's huge. Who's the aggro now, bitch? Who that aggro now? Turn 2, by the way. Where'd my hand go? Okay. 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 Sounds good.
When I shoot ya, it's gonna hurt.
Let the dead rest.
So that's how it's gonna be, is it? In that case, I'd rather just make that trade and do this and that. Well, actually, that didn't do what I thought it meant. Forgot about this thing summoning crap. Okay, well, next turn this is gonna be good. Just wait till I have 99 mana. Ooh, that is visibly disgusting right there. I'm gonna play it this way. Sure. I'll still trade.
The exit is this way.
Garona.
Lane's cruel grip shall be met with blood.
Dead end.
Should have played her on the right, but technically speaking, he's also going to be trading this one, so it doesn't matter. Is he buffing? He ain't buffing. Well, he dying if he ain't buffing.
Hey, I got you, friend.
Yes, disgusting. Well, we tempoed out like a absolute madman right there. Dagger up, fam, dagger up. Yes, disgusting. How's it going, the god? Welcome, welcome, bud. Not a rogue. A lot of rogues out there, not gonna lie. Like, this is the 5th rogue today.
He's your worst nightmare.
In about an hour. In about an hour. At least on curve would be great. Can try like this perhaps? I don't know, it feels a little bit on the questionable side. Hey, that's a good decision right there. The god. You should be happy with that choice. Yeah, this is gonna be quite the different curve than the last game. Well, this saves us. Oh, please don't. Okay, that was... I don't think he should have done that. I don't think that saves him too much. Maybe he has 2 of them and might as well play one now, but I don't think that was too great for him. It doesn't really allow him to advance or anything like that. I'm still gonna be the first one with a free drop on board. Guess he wants plenty of those. Didn't even leave it? That was weird. Reborn with full health and enhancements. Really hope I get to combo it. This thing being big as fuck is kind of cool, but yeah, I'm gonna combo this next turn and feel great about it. This thing and that thing, and these reborn, kind of insane. Sure.
Care to make a wager, friend?
That's a curve right there. What's it gonna be, step bro? Puts it at the top. That doesn't help him right now. Well, that's mildly annoying. Doesn't get the reborns though. So much for it being a copy of the minion the opponent played. Let's go Elise on him.
I remember this place well.
Now we're talking. Crisscross. I could have also maybe just went phase there. Probably should have.
I remember this place well.
Okay, I get to get a copy of his Elise too. Not sure I really want it though. I'll just do that. It's way too good. If he did pick a copy minion there, he's gonna be very sad too. Okay, he went with armor and raptors. Not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal though. I can still play Elise next turn. Alternatively, could consider this thing, even though I won't even be able to kill it. Not this turn at least. Let me see what he has behind door number 2. Garona. I guess an extra no melee, I never hurt nobody.
I remember this place well.
Could also go for 1 mana here, honestly. Kind of feel like 1 mana is the way to go here. We know he has no melee, so going for another copy. I'd rather discover a spell, no need to go too crazy here, and let's separate our no melee targets. That ain't rare. Could also go with this, honestly, but I'd rather just do this and keep on smacking while he keeps on slowballing us. Thanks, man. The first one to Elise usually is amazing.
Rot number 802, welcome to the collection.
Cool story, Bob.
The treasures of time are mine for the taking!
Not a huge fan of that play we just did, not gonna lie. That was a little bit on the stupid stuff. That was a bit stupid. He gets to kill most of this board with a... well, with location combo. He basically kills everything with no Melia. Probably should not have done no Melia at all there. That was silly. Next turn I might just drop a couple of these so we can do a bigger, better Ashamane, or I could just go Ashamane straight out. I think it's Ashamane straight out kind of play before he gets to do anything of his own. That ain't bad at all.
Connect to those unseen.
Rot number 802, welcome to the collection. Rot number 802, welcome to the collection.
That ought to be good enough for now. We know he has Tesla still in his deck. If that was something we were worrying about, that is.
Swiftly.
My collection is ever growing.
It's a large man.
One catch your eye?
I don't care about the Raptors as much. Could I have done this slightly better? Okay. I'll just leave that like that. Quite a lot of decisions with this one. Quite a lot of randomness with it too. Okay, there's that shitlist we were talking about. No, Melia deals slightly more. But it is not enough. What's gonna be enough is, very soon...
Connect to those unseen.
Ah, fuck. It's fucked. Not that many very amazing things left in my deck though, so... Ah, shit, he gets my Ceaseless. Or another Ashamane too. I could kill him with a double Grifter here. Be a lot cooler if I did.
Swiftly.
Care to make a wager, friend?
Maybe he didn't see Ceaseless playing this many stuff.
Care to make a wager, friend?
If I get the steal out of Grifta, that's also pretty good. So let me try with that before we do some shitless action. That's one. If I get a steal again or 6 damage, it's over. Yeah. Lesser people would have just gone for shitless there now, wouldn't they? That shitless was looking quite shitty. We didn't go for it though. We ain't taking that bait. A lot of people would have started off with Ceaseless there and then play Grifta, thinking at least we're sticking that 4-5 if we didn't get the 6 damage. Cares about 6 damage when you can get 10 and 7. Another Death Knight.
Versus the Lich King.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe it would have, because he wouldn't have had that 6 Exciter. Maybe it would have.
Your worst nightmare.
Way things went, probably would have. Let's try like that. Turn 1 Deja Vu, turn 2 Foxy this thing. Or that. Maybe. Just maybe. Discount Xavier sounds hot.
Nothing that hurts my hounds. Pleasure afoot.
Charge on the bargy bin. Can't say no to that. This one's also pretty busted though. But I think it's always this thing. This early especially.
The citadel stands strong.
Care to make a wager, friend?
Sale for sale! What a steal! What a steal!
I remember this place.
Thank
well.
fuck he didn't have his 2-mana leech. That would have cleared the whole board. I could steal his... No, not really. If we had Deja Vu, I could. Charge on the Grifta. Where were all these charge idiots last game?
Rot number 802, welcome to the collection.
Charge on this thing, costing me only corpses? That's kind of cool. This gives me a good amount of card draw out. But again, where were all these chargers last game?
What cars? Quite a few.
Oh, tough luck.
What a steal!
Okay, that's not that bad. Didn't get armor, didn't get rushers, didn't get anything too fancy, so we're kind of happy. Okay.
Who could put a price on such powerful artifact?
That ain't too bad. He's almost dead. By almost, I mean he is literally one off lethal, Chief. Visibly one off lethal, Chief. -1 mana for lethal, Chief. I think I'm going all in. But yeah, I did not see Pterodax in his hand. Maybe hold on to it for a lifesteal. He doesn't need to know about it.
Buy one, get one full price.
Don't you dare find it. Finding it would be cheating. That would be a way to get himself corpses. He is not. Let's frickin' go. Turn 6 lethal against the Dix. At least on curve, by the way. Decent. Impossible? You were right there, fam. What do you mean impossible? That was a lot of chargers we got there. A lot of damage out of the Grift and whatnot. Whole lot of everything. Oop. What else should we play? What else should we play? That was decent. A lot of rogues, though. Whole lot of rogues, though.